Minoska, do you see that weird bar or is it okay?
I don't see anything. I think we're
Okay,
good.
perfect.
Mhm.
Okay, cool. All right, so I'm Adriana Kelly, and I am one of your academic advisors in the online MSW. And
And yeah, and I'm Manoska Hernandez. I'm the co-advisor for the online MSW.
so we're mostly your point of contact while you go through this program. We'll explain a little bit about the difference between us and the success coach a bit later on in this presentation. Um, but we are the primary contacts for advising in this program. And this is just a new student check-in. And what that is a way for us to touch base with you about your first term in the program. We're going to talk about what to expect in your classes, with finances, and with your upcoming field placement. So, in your first class, you may have noticed that you are doing a lot of reading, a lot of reading and quiz taking, and maybe not as much interaction with your instructor or your peers. That's not typically how the rest of the classes in the program are set up. So, if this is not exactly what you thought an online program would be, we understand it's not really like that. There's just so much information that we try to put in this first class to get everybody sort of up to speed because not everyone has a social work background. So we want to make sure that you get the history and just the basics starting right off. So when you start your second class in term two, it's going to be a lot more interactive. I believe you'll probably have a group project, so you'll get to interact with your peers a little bit more. So if the course design of this first class is not exactly what you were hoping for, it will look different moving ahead. We understand that there's quite a bit to do, and it's not super fun. So we do hope that you will have more fun as time goes in the program, but hang in there. 7 weeks goes by really quickly, and you'll be in something
Actually
else
enjoying
before you
it.
know it. Oh, that's great. I'm so glad to hear it. We do get a lot of,
Yeah,
like, oh my gosh, I didn't want to just read a book and take a test. But I know that the instructor makes a difference too. So if you have a good instructor, then they can feel a bit different. So I'm glad to hear that you're not dreading it, as the weeks go
no,
through.
because a lot of it is kind of like a revamp of like my psych classes. I was like,
Okay.
Mm.
oh, I know this theory. Oh, I remember this theory. I even pulled out my old notes. I'm like,
Oh,
oh, yep,
nice.
see, I got my notes.
That's good. Okay, well, that's great to hear. You'll get a variety of instructors, and they all sort of have a different way about them. Some instructors release all the modules at once, some release them 1 week at a time. Some are very invested in giving feedback, video feedback, verbal or audio feedback. Some just do written feedback. There's a wide variety of what our instructors like to do in their classes. So you should get a good mix of the types of instruction in this program. Moving on to registration. So for this first semester, we registered you administratively, but moving forward, any of the future semesters, you'll enroll in your classes yourself, but we will provide you with the specific information to enroll. The next registration period will open in late March. So keep an eye out on your UCF email, and we will send you the specific sections to choose and give you instructions for how to register yourself. You'll be able to choose the instructor that you take the class with. A lot of our students do utilize Rate My Professors. They post on our Facebook asking about, is this instructor a little bit more flexible, or what's this professor like? So that's a good way to gauge maybe who you want to enroll in if you're not familiar with the instructors. You may have seen on your Canvas web course that you have a non-credit pressure to plagiarize module. That is, and also a Let's Be Clear module. It's unclear to us when exactly these get placed on your account. They don't tell us, but they do tell us that if you don't complete them by the end of the first semester of the program, they will put a hold on your account, blocking registration. So if you see that module, one or both of them, be sure to take care of that. Um,
I'm
be
sorry,
sure to,
what module that was? I'm sorry.
sorry, sure, that's the pressure to plagiarize module.
Oh, okay, okay.
And then there's also a module called Let's Be Clear, which I'm not positive that it shows up in the first semester. Like I said, they don't tell us exactly when they put it on your account. So for right now, for this first semester, definitely look out for the pressure to plagiarize module. And if you see the Let's Be Clear module, go ahead and take care of it by the deadline that's stated in the course. But if you don't see it right away, don't worry. We'll answer any questions you have if you see it or don't see it. So just reach out to us and we can try to figure it out for you. Something to pay attention to in addition to these modules is in My UCF, when you log in and you get in your student center, on the right-hand side, there's a box that says holds, and then below that, a box that says to do items. So basically, if you have anything like the pressure to plagiarize module, or if you have a financial aid document to complete, anything like that, then that will be listed in your to-do list items. One item you're going to see in there is your graduate plan of study. You can disregard that. You've already done that. When you completed orientation, you signed your plan of study. We have saved it, we've recorded it, it's on file, and it just takes a semester or two to have that removed from your to-do list. But if you see it there, you've already done it. We wouldn't let you enroll in classes if you hadn't. So, what to expect with finances? Our program is a little bit different because we do have the 7 week terms, which means that if you use financial aid or you pay on your own, our payment deadline is deferred until after the start of the second term. So that means if you are getting financial aid and you've been awarded and you've accepted your offer, your funds are not going to post to your account until after you start that second class in March. This will be the case in the spring and in the fall, but not in the summer. In the summer, you have to, there's a lower limit for how many credit hours you need to enroll in. So the aid gets released a bit earlier. But if you haven't seen your financial aid yet, it's coming. It just happens to be in the second term after you start that second class. Um, Again, with that to-do list in My UCF, if there is something that financial aid needs from you in order to give you an award of aid, you'll see it listed there. You might see a different date listed on your fee invoice that was for January or February. Your payment deadline will update to be Friday, March 21st, instead of what you see listed there. And we will discuss a little bit more about your success coach, Barbara. But sometimes when you call financial aid, you have a long, long wait time. And it's better to reach out to Barbara first if you have any questions about what's going on with your financial aid, because you're likely to get an answer quicker from her than you will calling financial aid directly. So, what to expect in your field placement? You're in a 3 year track, which means that your first year is a foundational year. We're teaching you sort of the basics of what it means to work in the social work field, learning about different client populations, and just easing sort of into social work practice. Your second year is called the generalist year, and this is where you'll complete your first field placement. This is a field placement that takes place across 3 semesters. So for 1 year, you will be placed at an agency in your area, doing sort of generalized work in the community. So you might be working at a homeless shelter, you might be working at a food bank, you might be working at a community agency that has a call line or manning tables at different events. It'll be generalist placement, and you have to do 10 hours a week at the agency. So we typically tell students to figure out their schedule with their work or their support people in their life to make sure that they have at least 2 days free where they can do about 5 hours in that week during business hours because after 5 p.m. and weekend hours are very hard to come by. Some students will say that they know of an agency that's open 24 hours or they know of places that have availability on the weekend. It's not so much the number or the hours that that placement is open, it's the hours that you can be supervised while you're there. So there has to be an MSW supervising you, and that's why they're hard to come by. So it's something to start thinking about. But what will happen is next semester, you will get an invitation to join a web course, and in it, you will apply for field placement. What that means is that you will let us know where you're located, let us know the populations that you might be interested in working with. If you know you want to work with kids, if you know that you don't want to work in hospice, for example, or you don't want to work with this certain population, that's the time to let the field team know. And then they will match you up with a field faculty member who will work with you on finding a placement for the spring. Typically, it's in your area, but we do let students know that you might have to travel up to an hour, depending on where you're located and your availability. So keep that in mind. You'll get a lot more information about that soon. But if you have any questions about field now, you can take a look at our advising portal. There is a module on field placement, and it gives you more descriptions of where you might be placed and what your expectations will be for the generalist year. And then in your third year, it will be your clinical placement. That will be a different agency that you will be located at. You'll be doing different work and more direct client interaction. You'll have a caseload of clients that you work with. And that one will require 14 hours a week. So it's good to start thinking about it now, getting your supports in place, making sure that you have transportation, making sure that you are thinking and looking around your area for places that you might be interested in. We have students in Alaska. We have a lot of students in Florida, but we have them all over the country. So our staff is located here in Central Florida. But if you know of anything in your area, we ask that you don't reach out to the agency yourself, but keep a notebook with ideas, or send yourself an email if you think of a place where maybe you'd be interested in interning. So that will help our field team when they work with you for a placement.
All right, so getting connected. There's a lot of different ways that you can get in touch with us, and just the university as a whole. But I wanted to let you know that firstly, your UCF email, keeping track of that is really important, especially when it comes to information from us, the program directly. We are only going to communicate with you guys through UCF email or the advising portal. And the great thing is, if I post anything or Adriana posts anything on the advising portal, it goes straight to your email. So you can just click on it, read the message, however you like, but always, check your UCF email a few times a week, okay? Also, faculty members, your professors tend to only communicate with you through UCF email. So it's really important that you're on top of that. And speaking of faculty, they're great people to reach out to. We have wonderful faculty here in our program, and they're always willing to help you guys. If for whatever reason you're having trouble getting in contact with them, you can always let us know. As your advisors, we have, access to them, and we can help you out with that if necessary. Otherwise, we do ask you to email them. They typically have office hours, so check your syllabi because that's the best way you're going to reach them. Um, we'll talk about Barbara later, but your success coach is also another wonderful way to get connected to the resources here at the university. Barbara's great. She has a wealth of knowledge and information. So I would encourage you to reach out to her if you need any assistance with that type of thing. And we'll get to her a little bit later. Next, the online MSW advising portal. This is a really cool resource for you guys. We like to call it the 24-hour advisor, because if you can't get in contact with us, or it's like you're doing homework at night and you remember something that we talked about in one of these sessions, you could always check the online MSW advising portal, and likely that information is going to be in there. So for example, information regarding tuition, when it's disbursed and that kind of thing will be on there. If you have questions about field and the requirements, that information is going to be on there. We always post announcements about events and things like that that will be helpful for you guys. If there's any scholarship opportunities, that sort of thing, everything will be on the online MSW advising portal. So I highly recommend looking into it if you haven't yet. If for whatever reason you haven't been added, that was on me and I can do that now. But let me know if you don't see it or if you're having trouble accessing it, and we can, get that sorted out for you. Okay. And then lastly, we do have a really cool Facebook group. It's wonderful because we add all of our students onto there. So there's so many alumni on there that can provide you guys with tips and tricks or information. A lot of times our students will be posting, hey, I'm selling this book. Is anyone interested? Or they'll just give it to you. Or if you're looking for a job, that will be posted on there as well. It's a really wonderful way to stay connected to your cohort and people who've already been through the program, and you can make connections that way. If you didn't click on the initial invite that we sent you, let me know and we can, send it to you again if you're interested in joining the Facebook group. Otherwise, don't ever feel like you're missing out on any information that we share, because whatever we share to the Facebook group, we share to the advising portal if it's important to current students. Okay, so you won't ever miss out on any information. All right, next, how to stay in touch with us, your advisors. So just so that we can clarify the differences between your advisors and the success coach, we help more so with programmatic and academic success. So we want to ensure that you are going to get through the program smoothly on the academic side of things. And you can connect with us via email or phone number. Our contact information is there on the screen. You can send us a message on Canvas as well in the inviting portal. You can connect with us through there. We'll get it right away. The Facebook group, you can do that as well. Any way that's easiest for you guys, we are accessible. We can discuss questions regarding your plan of study. If you see any UCF or program policy that you don't quite understand, that's something that we can discuss with you as well. And if you're having any struggles with your academic performance or with a professor, or even any life changes that you think may potentially affect your schedule or your plan of study, anywhere from, hey, I'm pregnant to I'm moving to a different state, we're here to help you stay on track with your studies, right? So just let us know and we can adjust your plan of study if necessary, but that's what we're here for. And then Barbara's really wonderful. She's literally like a coach guiding you through the program, right? She's more of that emotional kind of support. So she's there to motivate you to continue with the program and connect you to any resources that will help you do that, right? She's very accessible. And she's there from, we like to say, she's there from application to graduation. So maybe some of you received help even through the application process, and she's still here for you guys as well, if you didn't know that.
So I
So she,
couldn't use Barbara the first week. I was ready to quit. I was like, forget this crap.
oh, oh man, oh man.
I
And she
was
was
gonna reach out, but I'm like, no, you can do this. Don't get overwhelmed. So I'm still here. So it's okay.
good, good. I'm glad. And please reach out to her. That's what she's there for. She's awesome. She loves working with you guys. And it's really nice when graduation time comes. She always says a little bit, and the students always have something wonderful to say about her because she's literally there for you guys every step of the way. Um, but she's there to help you design any strategies to help you meet your academic goals, help you keep you organized. She connects you to the student library and the writing center. And I know with online students, it's a little different, but she will help you with that. She'll help you provide those resources so that you can get connected to those kinds of on-campus opportunities. And yeah, basically, she's just there to champion your success. And we all are, but Barbara is special in that sense, right? So please utilize her. She's there for you.
So that's the end of our presentation. We will definitely send that presentation as well as the recording of this video for you to have that contact information for Barbara as well as for us, and for any of the things that we mentioned. So that's it for us. But please, if you have any questions that you like to have us address, feel free to reach out either right now or through those contact methods that we provided.
I have a question.
Sure.
For the placements, do you guys do placements in hospitals?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Yes. There's a list of regulations and rules that we kind of have to follow, and we have connections with certain hospitals. particularly in Florida, but also in other states. So definitely we have students involved in hospitals and medical social work.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Sure.
I was gonna say that's good because I literally work at Orlando Health. So whatever
Okay.
Oh.
y'all got going on over here,
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Yeah, and our campus-based MSW also has a lot of students working in placements in hospitals,
they do, yeah,
the
especially here.
VA. We've
Yeah,
got lots of students around.
yeah. I did have one more question. Well, I'm not just me, but I received an email on like a clinic or something. Like what does that entail? Or is that for me or
I know you guys get a lot of emails, and we don't always know what they are.
okay?
So is it perhaps did you share something, Minoska, about a clinic? I
It was
want to
like a
say,
Alpha
Oh,
Psi.
it
oh,
could be the Phi Alpha.
Oh, Phi Alpha. Okay.
Yes, 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 yes. I'm looking at it now so that I make sure I'm trying to refresh my memory. So this is one of our professors, Jill Davis, was promoting kind of like an event that's happening soon. And you have access to it via the link that I sent. You can find that in the advising portal. So basically, Phi Alpha is hosting like an open discussion that's open to all students. It's with a Popka clinic. It's a reflection and discussion event. So if you're interested, you can go ahead and do that. Um, the information is all there. I don't know too much about it. I can ask Professor Davis for more information. But
No,
that's
it's
something that
okay. I
she did
just didn't.
ask us to share with you.
Okay, okay, no
Yeah, but
worries.
it's
I
open to
just
you guys. You're free to hop on. There's a Zoom link available. And I believe they're also asking for volunteers too. So it depends on what you're interested in.
okay.
mhm. If you ever get an email and you're not sure if it is meant for you, if it's a generic email sent from the main campus or anything like that, you can always feel free to forward it over to us and be like, what
Hmm.
is this? Do I have to pay attention to this? Because we know that you guys get a ton of emails. And while we'd like to say only pay attention to the emails from us, we know that there's other departments on campus that need to tell you specific things, but we're happy to help you navigate that.
Yeah, I was just worried. I'm like, maybe is this something I need to attend? Because I'm always when I get the graduate emails, I'm like, oh, I need to pay attention to these. Maybe this is something for me, and I get nervous because I don't want to miss
Oh,
things.
yeah.
So I'm just like, oh my God.
No, this is totally voluntary,
Yes.
but it can be a good way to learn what Phi Alpha is all
Hmm.
about, which is our honor society. It's an invitation only honor society.
Oh,
After you have completed 9 hours in the program, if you are within the top 35% of the class of the program in your GPA, you'll receive an invitation to join the honor society. And there are some specific requirements that you have to meet to maintain your membership.
okay.
But it's a really cool way to connect with other students, but also, kind of build sort of a lifelong bond with other social workers. And they have alumni involved, and they do a lot of networking. So it's a cool thing. But please don't feel like you'll miss out on anything if you are
Hmm.
not invited to join the Honor Society. There's lots of opportunities for networking and other
Hmm.
things for all students.
Yes. Yeah, and it looks like I just read a little bit more about it, but it looks like the event by Alpha, they volunteered at a Popka clinic, and this event is an opportunity for them to discuss with all students their experience and reflect a little bit about it. So, yeah, like Adriana said, it is a really good opportunity to connect with the students and ask them questions on what that was like working for that particular clinic or any clinic in general if you're interested in volunteering. So, it's not required, but if that's something that you think would be helpful, then, please sign up. And there will be another one later in the month as well. So if you miss this one, you can always join the next one.
I keep muting myself because I didn't want you guys to hear like the code blues and
Oh
stuff in
gosh,
here. So,
thanks. We'll
but
do
I think
another.
that's
Oh, sorry.
oh no, I was gonna say that's it for me. Sorry.
Oh, okay. I will think in term two, we'll have sort of a general drop-in session that we make available for all students. So this is specific to the brand new cohort that just started this spring, but we'll have a drop-in advising session sometime in term two that we'll let you guys know about. And that is really informal. It's just a way for you to drop in and say hi to other people in the program, or if you have a question that you want to get answered for the both of us or from another student. It's just a very informal way for us to connect with you and sort of build up that community of the students. Since I know it's hard to be connected when you're online only, especially in the first semester, you might feel a little bit isolated. I will say that most of our cohorts get very, very close. They have their own group chats and Facebook groups and stuff like that. And by the time they get to graduation, everybody is really, supportive of each other and makes some really great friendships. So if there are any other questions, we'll hang around for a few more minutes, but that's all we've got to share with you today.
Thank you, ladies, so much. This was very good.
Thank you, and thank you for joining us.
Alrighty, bye.
Take care. And if you missed anything in the first part of our presentation, we'll be sending out an email with the recording and the presentation. So don't worry if you missed anything we addressed earlier, you'll still get a chance to see it.